Hi, this is Paul. As promised on my other channel, I said I was going to review episode 10 of season 6 of Game of Thrones, and I made a bunch of predictions. And so let's do the review first, and then I'll get to my predictions. Basically, in this, well, not basically, why I keep saying basically, I'm trying to eliminate basically from my vocabulary. What happened in this episode? Cersei's trial and Loras's trial, and Queen Marjorie's trial as well, I think, right? It was supposed to be taking place. Uh, anyway, basically, they got Loras to confess all his sins, and of course, and renounce all his claims to to royalty and all that stuff. And renounce his family, and basically, he's going to become a High Sparrow. And they carved that thing in his head, that symbol in his head, and off you go. Now, the next person to be called, of course, is going to be Cersei for her trial, and of course, she doesn't show up. And as promised, as what a lot of people predicted, she has a plan. She has sort of a Godfather. Is it Godfather 2? I think it's Godfather 2. Godfather 2 plan, where she gets revenge on all her enemies, literally. Okay, she she basically burns the Septon up where they're going to have the trial and everything. She basically blows it up with the wildfire. She has it underneath the thing, and of course, her cousin, I forgot the guy's name, who she was sleeping with before, who's a sparrow. He follows it on his way to go get Cersei because she doesn't show up for the trial. He follows one of these the little I got to call little, what do you call little arrows, little sparrows, and he basically follows him down into the tunnel where basically he gets stabbed, and he eventually sees all the wildfire, and he sees it's about to basically blow up. And of course, King Tom is getting ready to go. He's getting dressed and he's getting ready to go for the trial. But of course, he gets stopped by the Mount Franken Mountain, who tells him, "No, you're not going. Okay, just go sit down over there. You're not going." And so he sits down and sits in his room. And of course, then you see Cersei getting dressed, and she's drinking her wine. And she's drinking her wine. She looks all military, and she's drinking her wine and drinking some more wine. And then, of course, Cersei's not coming, and the High Sparrow's wondering where she is. And of course, he sends the cousin to go get her. And except the only person with a brain, Marjorie figures out. She figures it out. She goes, "Wait a minute, Cersei's not coming. She has no intention of coming. Okay, we got to get out of here. Okay, Cersei's not coming. Okay, let's get out of here." But of course, the High Sparrow right there is too stupid. He's been smart all along, but now he's stupid, and he actually doesn't want to leave. And Marjorie, who wants to leave, she has a brother with her, and she said, "Come on, let's get out of here." Of course, the stupid sparrows block her from going, and of course, Cersei's plans come to fruition. Where, oh yeah, I forgot the Grand Maester. Not the Grand Maester. Is the Grand Maester the Maester? The perverted older guy. He gets who dick to the end. He stiffs a prostitute on his way to the trial, and then of course all the little sparrows basically lure him in, and then they proceed to stab him to death. So basically, all her enemies she takes care of, because the trial where they're gonna have blows up, the wildfire just absolutely blows everybody up. So Marjorie's dead, Loras is dead, her uncle is dead, Cersei's uncle's dead, the Tyrell, the father is dead as well. Marjorie's dead, Loras is dead, the High Sparrow's dead, all the sparrows are dead. So it's basically Cersei takes out all her enemies in this one fell swoop. And of course, there's one other person, the shame lady, and we see her. She's tied to a table, and Cersei's basically telling her, she's confessing. Cersei's confessing that she loved doing what she did. She loves effing her brother because it makes her feel good, and she killed her husband Robert because it made her feel good. She's confessing all her crimes. So, and she tells the shame lady that, "Listen, I did all this," and she said, "Remember I told you that mine's gonna be the last face you see before you die?" And the lady says, "Okay, I'm prepared to die." And so she said, "No, you're not gonna die, not today." And then of course she invites Franken Mountain in, who takes off his helmet, which you don't get to see. His face is still in the shadow, so you don't quite see who she is, but what he looks like. But of course, you hear her screaming as Cersei walks out. You hear her screaming, and basically she's gonna be the plaything of Franken Mountain. Okay, so Cersei, but what she may or may not have counted on, I think now that I think about it, I think she may have foreseen this. uh, King Tom, and he sees, the place blow up, and of course he knows Marjorie died, and every High Sparrow, so his wife died, his queen died, his religion died, basically got blown up in front of it, and he knows his mother did this, and he knows it. So he basically takes off his crown, and and then he just jumps out the window. He just swan dive out the window, okay, and of course Cersei's doesn't see, she wants to see his face, and I wondered if after they find out that they break it to her that he died, and she goes to see the body, and she says she wants to see his face, but they don't show you his body. And I thought maybe for a minute maybe he died with his eyes open or something like that, and she was going to close his eyes, but she didn't seem too taken aback by his death. But I think she had realized once he killed all that trial by Camelot noise that he was a lost cause. I think she kind of, so of course I think she's sad about it, but she's not devastated like she would have been normally. I think that's and of course, what else happens? We go to Winterfell, and of course, Sansa apologizes to Jon for not letting him know about the veil, but he says, listen, we got so many enemies now, we got to trust each other, and exactly, and he basically tells her she can move into the room where Ned and Catelyn started. He said, you should do that. You should move in because you're the head of Winterfell. He doesn't really kind of want it. Jon, he loves his family, but he doesn't really want to. That's not his focus. Okay, but he basically, him and Sansa, and he also talked about seeing the white sparrows. So now, it's officially winter is coming. Okay, and of course, Lady Mormont, the little badass, she basically shames all the other people to support the Starks, and she proclaimed Jon King of the North. So he's the new King of the North, and they all pledged their loyalty, even the people that didn't want to give him, men to fight Ramsay. They all proclaim, him King of the North, and of course, at the same time, Davos, confronts Melisandre, and Jon Snow telling her, tell him what you did, that you burned Queen Shireen, and she confessed. She said, yes, I did it, but of course, it was behest of my king and the Queen. They went along with it, and Jon Snow, instead of killing her, which Davos wanted to kill her, he banishes her. He said, go south, don't come back. If you do, we'll hang you for murder. And she takes off. But I think, we'll see her next season. Anyway, then what else happens? Oh yeah, my favorite part of the episode. My absolute favorite part. The phrase and Jaime they're basically celebrating, taking back, having killed the Blackfish and taken over the castle again, and basically Jaime tells him, he tries to brag. Walder Frey kind of brags about how we're great and we're all this big and bad, and Jaime's not really feeling him, and he basically says, you know what, people don't really fear you; they fear me. They fear the Lannisters, okay? And so I'm going to be out of here once. I'm going back to King's Landing, and of course, he gets out of there, but of course they come back after everybody's cleared out, and you see Walder Frey there, drinking and eating, and you see that one chamber, I guess, server who you saw earlier, who was looking at Jaime, and who what's his name, Bronn? I think Bronn, who was kind of jealous of Jaime, and so you see her later. She's like cleaning up, and Walder Frey's complaining about the pie he's eating, and then she comes up to him and said, and he's Walder Frey's wondering where's his useless sons at, and she said, your sons are here, and in this bittersweet moment, and you see him open up the pie, and you see part of I think it's part of the finger, all right. You see, and basically she tells this server girl, tells him, listen, that your kids have been killed and baked into this pie, that you've been eating them. Okay, and then of course she takes off her face, and of course it's Arya, and she just and she slices Walder Frey from ear to ear, and in a beautiful, and watches him bleed out, and I just fist pump like that, say, yes, Arya, yes. to avenge the Red Wedding. Thank you, Arya. Thank you. It was all worth it. All that useless, faceless journey, but you finally got revenge for your mother and your brother and his wife. Oh, that was sweet justice. I'm going to watch that on a loop. Him getting his throat sliced by Arya. That was just absolutely beautiful. Of course, and then what else happened? Oh, yeah, Bran. Oh, no, I'll say that for the end. Oh, they do show, what's his name? Bald-headed guy, not Daenerys. I forgot his name. The guy with Tyrion, the bald-headed guy, the eunuch guy. I forgot his name. I'm sorry what the names, but the eunuch guy. You see him go to Dorne, where you see Olenna, the grandmother of the Tyrells, played by Nana Rigg. She's there, and she kind of puts a smack down on the little sand snakes, and she said, "Let the adults talk," and they're talking, and then of course the eunuch comes out and says, "We're going to form an alliance," and against and Cersei. Okay, and they form their alliance, and they basically said, "We're going to team up with Dany as well." So they basically get Dorne on their side against Cersei. Okay, and so now he gets in his teleporter, the eunuch guy, and all of a sudden he's back at the end on the ship, which I call BS too, but I guess he's using the same teleporter that Littlefinger uses. Okay, and I forgot about Littlefinger. Littlefinger actually, before Jon is proclaimed King of the North, he goes to Sansa and tells her what he wants. He wants to be sitting on the Iron Throne with her at his side, and she kind of brushes him off and kind of leaves. But you see, once Jon is made King of the North, you see him twirling his mustache literally. And Sansa, you see initially she's happy for Jon. You see her smiling, and then she's giving Littlefinger a look like, "Yeah, I don't know if you trust. Yeah, I still don't trust you." And Jon got to watch his back, especially around Littlefinger, with Littlefinger hanging around. Okay, and I think they still don't know that he betrayed Ned. They don't know that because also I think they would have chopped his head off. Anyway, and then the last thing is and Daenerys. She basically tells Dario, I think that's the guy's name, the guy that was her general. She tells him basically, you're not coming with us. I have to go over, and then I'm gonna probably have to marry, to form an alliance. So you stay here and you run this new. It's gonna be what she said. It's gonna be called the House of Dragon, the Dragon's Bay or something now. So Slaver's Bay is going to be Dragon's Bay, and you can stay here. And she basically tells him, listen, it was real, but I gotta bounce, and I may have to marry somebody as a political alliance when I get over there to Westeros, so I can't take my side piece with me. So peace out. Thanks for all the help. Peace out. Okay. She leaves, and of course she goes to Tyrion, and Tyrion asks her, "How did you take it?" And she said, "Yeah, you took it well, pretty well." And she does something good for Tyrion. She makes Tyrion her hand. She gives him the little pin that she had made that he had before, and makes him the hand and thing. And you can tell it moved him. And so now he's going to be the official hand of Daenerys, which was a really sweet moment. Okay, and now what else? Oh yeah, and then finally, Bran. Bran, you see him walk back, and he goes back and he sees his aunt. Yeah, that would be his aunt, and she sees Ned go into the chamber where she's giving birth. She's dying. She's giving birth, and she tells Ned she has the baby there, and she tells him, "Promise," and she doesn't say. You don't hear what the promise is, but she tells him, "Promise, Ned, promise." And of course, it's the promise that to keep the baby, who's really a Targaryen, a secret. And then they go from showing the baby to a live shot of Jon Snow. So of course, this is the baby. So Ned Stark is not his father; is his nephew, is his uncle. Okay, and Jon is a Targaryen and a Stark, so which everybody knew anyway. Okay, and I guess maybe next season they'll reveal exactly how it happened, because I'm not up on the details exactly how. I know who the father is. I don't on the details exactly, but basically Jon Snow is Dany's nephew, because her brother, her older brother, or oldest brother, I think, he's Jon's father, which I think they'll probably show next season, and how I don't know if Bran will get back and reveal this to Jon and to Sansa, or it'll come out some other way, and hopefully, yeah. But as for predictions, let's go to my predictions. Now that I reviewed the episode, this episode was good. One of the best season finales ever. A lot of things happened. A lot of things moved. Oh yeah, I forgot to say. Oh yeah, at the end, I forgot. This is one thing I forgot. I'm sorry. Of course, you see Jaime make his way back to King's Landing, and then of course he sees the Septon all burned to the ground and stuff, and he's horrified. And then he goes in and he sees Cersei being crowned Queen Cersei. Long shall she reign. And he has this horrified look on his face, like, what did you do? What did you do? And that's how it ends. You see her with this look on her face, and she gets the crown on her head. So she's sitting on the Iron Throne, and that's how that's how it ends. And no, what it ends actually with the dragons and everybody else, going to Westeros. Everybody on the ship and and you see the banners and all the dragons, and they're on their way to Westeros. So that's how it ends. So this was a great season finale. I would give it definitely a 9 out of 10. It was fantastic. A lot of reveals, a lot of things happened, a lot of people got moved off the board. Okay, as far as my predictions were concerned, I did predict Tommen would die. I didn't think he would kill himself, although I could have saw it coming actually. Although I did think, for some reason, I thought Franken would kill him, but he committed suicide after seeing, seeing his wife get burnt to death, his faith, his religion get burnt up to death, and he knows his mother's batshit crazy. So he said, "I'm out," and took a swan dive. Okay, so that prediction came true that he would die. I just didn't know how he would. He didn't die the way I thought he would. And the Arya thing, that I was hoping would happen, and it happened, and I was so, like I said, I did a fist bump when it happened, when Arya killed Walder Frey. She sliced him ear to ear. I love that. That was beautiful. I think what would have made it more perfect if she would have said, the Starks send their regards. That would have been perfect, but she didn't say that. They should have had her say that. That would have been perfect. The Starks send their regards, and just, when she cut him ear to ear and just watched him bleed out, and she just held his head up while he just bled to death. I love that. That was, that was beautiful. That was absolutely magnifique. Okay, and I think so. That's what I predicted. That, and what else did I predict? Two of those predictions came true, and I didn't predict anything else. I don't think. Yeah, I didn't predict anything else. Oh yeah, I did predict maybe Littlefinger would get his head chopped off, but he didn't. He's still around to scheme some more, so just gotta watch him. So, but other than that, so two of my predictions came true, which I was glad. I knew Tommen was gonna die. Tommen was a dead man walking, of course, because of that prophecy and because how weak a character he was. So I knew whatever was gonna happen with Cersei, he was gonna kill himself. He's gonna either not he was gonna kill himself. That he was gonna die. Either she would kill him, or I thought Franken Mountain would kill him. But he actually committed suicide, which is still achieves the same effect. Still achieves the same goal. And what else? Oh yeah, and Arya would kill Walder Frey. I thought that was beautiful. That was a thing of beauty. I was waiting for that, and I was hoping that would happen, and they did. They delivered. Thank you. And you know what would be great for next season? This is my next season predictions. Okay, I think what will happen. I think to make the story interesting, I think they may not have see. I'm trying to think. I don't know how Westeros is, and maybe somebody can explain down in the comment section, because I know she's sailing toward Westeros, but she's sailing south, right? She's not. She's going to get to King's Landing first, right? She's not going to get to the north, because I thought that's the way they would do it. I thought they would have her sail, and when she gets towards where she would land somewhere near the north, and then she would run into Jon Snow, and then they would have to fight the walkers, and that would delay them from getting to King's Landing. And they would drag that out until, because I think next season only supposed to be 7 episodes. I think they cut down the number of episodes to the next season and the season after that. But I thought that's how it would happen, that she would get delayed, because they would her army and everybody else, they would have to fight the White Walkers, and that would keep them busy basically for a couple of episodes until she finally defeats them and whatever, and then maybe even the reveal of Jon being a Targaryen, and then she would finally go to Westeros and kill Cersei and wipe her out. But they may not do that. They may have her go directly to Westeros, wipe out Cersei, and then, of course, maybe Jon Snow hears about that, and he goes to see her and says, "Listen, I need your help. I hear you have dragons and everything. The dead is coming." Okay? And maybe they're going to have the North battling the dead and getting their ass kicked, and then they basically have to run to Westeros and basically beg the new ruler they hear about, Daenerys, and say, "Listen, we need your dragons and your men to fight this army of dead which is coming." So maybe they do that. So maybe they'll do it that way. So anyway, so I know it's a long video, but I wanted to get everything in. So let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below, and now we have to wait another year for Game of Thrones. But it is what it is. I love this show. Can't wait for the next season. So anyway, everybody take care, and feel free to leave comments down below. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button down below. And this is Paul saying so long and take care.